Since 2007, the Geelong Region Local Learning and Employment Network, or LEN, has committed substantial resources to increase school retention rates and to improve the outcomes for secondary school leavers. The project that serves as the vehicle for these objectives has become known as the Expanded Pathways Improved Transitions, or EPIT Project. Since the inception of the project, 18 schools have become involved with this initiative, as well as an array of partners which include Deakin University and the Regional Office of the Department of Education and Early Childhood Development.
So what the LEN undertook to do as a result of the local research that demonstrated those high numbers of young people leaving school early and leaving school to go directly into employment was to work with schools that volunteered to work with us on exploring ways to expand their pathways.
The EPIT project is started in a new school by an examination of its student outcome and destination data over time.
This is my second year at the school, and I was not fully in the picture in relation to the destination of our kids, and I was surprised to see that most of our kids choose to go to TAFE and university, and most of those kids do get an offer from tertiary institutions.
As a result of initial presentations of this data, the school embarks on an in-school change project to address aspects of the data that they wish to improve.
I was also surprised to see that in the last couple of years the apprenticeship offers basically diminished from something like 10% 4 or 5 years ago to 0 in 2010. They're the things that struck me.
These data reports, designed, analysed and presented in facilitated discussions, have been highly effective in engaging school leadership, teachers, students and parents, and in building their skills and understanding of how to use data for school improvement.
Really putting that focus on the future, which happened in that workshop, was helpful. They had done some work with data. The school review was last year, so they'd done the self-evaluation, the school review, and the people in that room had actually worked up the strategic plan. But the difference was they hadn't looked at it with that lens of pathways.
It was clear to the LEN that schools were not offering sufficient alternative pathways to VCE, and that it became apparent as we started to explore this with the schools that in many cases other pathways were devalued or undervalued. So schools volunteered to explore what was happening in their school to cause the destinations of their students. So once we started presenting them with their data that showed where the destinations of the students actually were, they were able to say, we want to change that, and in order to change that, these are the things that we have to do in this school.
Over the 7 years of its operation, the EPIT project has developed a range of tools and resources that facilitate the in-school change process. These tools include a charter that the schools commit to in order to partner with the LEN and outline the project team. Following the signing of the charter, a school will examine its own school leaver data set produced by the LEN.
From my perspective, it was an opportunity to get an external source to come in to push the agenda and to work in partnership with the LEN and the work that was happening there. And so coming in here, one of my many questions was, what projects have we already got happening? And it was an opportunity to invite you in so that we could begin that work in the school that I was now principal in.
6 EPIT partner schools formed a new collaboration to develop and use software packages to support them in their strategies to improve teaching and learning, based on robust individual student data. One trial package, Real-Time Student, and now similar commercial products use web-based data collection systems that provide live data on an individual student's progress. The schools have found that the use of this data has helped improve their teaching practice.
It means that every student is individually counselled with the most up-to-date data that we have on them within the school. It's also meant that no student is left behind. We're able to target at-risk students. The parents have been overwhelmed with what they've been able to see and the information that the school has on each individual student, and it's provided a really positive platform to start a course counselling session.
Also included in the range of tools provided to schools by the LEN is the production and supply of training videos and a social media presence, so that schools can disseminate their experiences for themselves and others, and to encourage interaction with all partners and stakeholders.
The EPIT Project schools embarked on change projects within themselves to address those areas that had been identified, such as enhancing transition support programming, targeted information campaigns for parents and school councils, vocational taster programs. They reallocated resources, they've worked with the teachers' professional learning programs, and they also developed early identification strategies and intervention programs so that young people who were at risk of perhaps leaving school early could be targeted much earlier in the school experience.
Most importantly, the EPIT schools have made considerable progress towards expanding post-compulsory pathways, particularly in vocational education training and the Victorian Certificate of Applied Learning.
We weren't tracking that detail, we were tracking Year 12 leavers, and we were missing that data that actually told our staff their course counselling was really good, their pastoral care for young people was really strong, their care that they found something was really high, but they weren't getting the data telling them that that was working for them. Both the LEN and EPIT have provided us with probably the intellect into the work we do. It's the idea that it's a knowledgeable group of people who do that work as their main staple, to get the benefit of Jude's research, to get the benefit of Anne-Marie's partnership knowledge, to go through all of those things, your work with regards to data. That ability to say these are the needs that have emerged across schools, I think that's the part that we value the most.